Kia ora tātou, everybody. Welcome.
Kia ora.
It's ReCooper8. It's Sunday, and we're pleased to be with you again. It's been a long week. We were just discussing.
Yeah.
We've got Becky Bateman
Hello.
in with us.
Becky,
Hi,
nice
Becky.
to see you nice.
She's going to be talking with us about all the amazing stuff that's on at Aratoi at the moment. You've got some really good exhibitions.
Absolutely.
And stuff coming up, perhaps. And we're also going to be talking to Meet the Mertons, our regular session.
Yes.
Yes.
That will be happening. I feel absolute confidence.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're due to have the Grit team on, who is currently doing the tour to Aotearoa, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. So we hope to catch up with them at another stage.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also got a playlist, and this month's theme is actually quite good covers, not covers as I did attempt.
I did enjoy the not so good covers.
Not so good.
Because, they were so bad. Some of them were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These ones are kind of quite good, maybe. And I've been listening to a lot of bluegrass and stuff, so they're also in that kind
Now,
of
what brought that on, this kind of exploration of bluegrass?
I've always liked it, but I don't know. I think it's my mood.
Yeah.
It's sad, but what the hell's going on?
Yeah. It's funny.
What's
And I
gonna
think
happen?
the weather hasn't been playing the game either, has it?
No.
So that makes it hard.
It was good to have some sun.
Yeah. But,
Yes.
I have never noticed, Becky, that you have a fringe.
Well, it's a new thing.
Oh, it's new.
Every now and again,
Okay.
I go for long hair.
Yep.
And then I chop it off, kind of your length, and go,
Yeah.
short hair.
Yeah.
But this year I've gone, maybe a fringe. I might explore. I haven't had a fringe for about 10 years. And I was like, maybe it's time to bring the fringe back.
I love it. It does.
It's natural Botox, as
That's exactly right.
as a
I didn't know
beauty therapist once told me about what can I do about my wrinkles. She's like, grow a fringe.
Because I've noticed I have this kind of very angry kind of.
Yeah, I've got one of
thing in the
those.
middle.
It's because you're constantly looking at people going, what the hell?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hide it.
You know when you catch yourself doing like resting bitch face?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's horrifying, isn't it?
Oh, we're not even 5 minutes in. We've already fallen twice.
Now, people, if you're listening via the old-fashioned method, which is the transistor radio, then that's fine. You carry on. You carry on supporting Last Century. That's totally fine. But also, just to let you know, I'm hoping that we should be on Facebook Live, but I can't see that yet. But as soon as I see that video, I shall share
Great.
on our page.
Yes. And you can also go to www.arrowfm.co.nz and we'll be on there.
Yes, click the Listen Live button.
Yes. Yes. So, Becky,
Hello.
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you so
back with your other hat.
Yes,
your mini
I was
hats.
thinking, I asked my children, hello children, if you're still listening.
Hello.
Hello.
They
And I
will
said-
still be listening,
and I
won't
said,
they? Oh.
Did I look okay kind of museum-wise? And they went, Mummy, you've got your angry hair on.
Oh.
Right. I'm just going to leave. So
Goodbye.
silly.
I just
I've
take
got
it as a
my-
general rule not
Yes.
to ask children fashion advice
Yes, it was-
or
the wrong
anything.
thing to do. Yes, I do have my other hat on today.
Yes.
My art and culture hat.
Great.
Oh, that must be a really big hat.
I think quite flowery. I
Quite,
think,
yeah,
as well.
very glamorous.
Yes, very
maybe a little bit
glamorous.
avant-garde.
Absolutely.
Like a Hunterwasser
Yes.
kind of hat.
Maybe kind of
Yeah.
velvet,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. But no, there's some good stuff at Alatoi this next couple of weeks. So
Now,
it's gonna
can
be-
you explain your role at Aratoi so we can just
try.
contextualise?
I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, I think, at the moment, Lucy. I am mainly educator, public programmer.
Yep.
So unfortunately, the public program side has waned a little bit
Yes.
since
Yeah.
Orange and Red.
Right.
Where we've had to kind of cancel quite a lot of the amazing programs that we've been lining up, which is very unfortunate. But, it's going to come back.
Yep.
Education as well has kind of taken a bit of a dive because, again, schools are basically all closing now and they don't really want to come into Aratoi.
Yep.
So on my education Aratoi hat, I've with my lovely co-educator Kate, we've been trying to develop online kind of sessions, which
Right.
is quite cool. So a lot of museums are doing that at the moment. It's kind of digital, kind of in your classroom. But yeah, that's a challenge. I mean, it's more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
Because it's more kind of Zoom and making Zoom look cool in an arty way.
Yeah, that's hard.
So that's quite difficult. So, but there's something we're going to try and do over the next couple of weeks and kind of months is kind of get that sorted. And then I also do a lot of the marketing and like write the media releases and talk to the press and do interviews.
Yes.
And do the social media and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And a little bit as well doing a bit of curation. So I've been putting up a kind of exhibition coordinating.
Oh, bloody hell.
So it's
There's a lot going on, isn't there, in your
It's a
role?
very small team.
Yeah.
So we kind of need to share the jobs around a
Yeah.
little bit. And all of 4 jobs, all kind of 4 parts of it, I love all of it. So I love doing the exhibition kind of coordinating because that's kind of very different, quite challenging, but really cool. And it kind of comes together. You're like, whoo-hoo.
Oh, yeah, that must be a lovely feeling.
Like, I'm on time. I'm 2 hours early. Before the doors open. That's quite cool. And just like talking to artists and kind of seeing their plan for things and how they want kind of things to look.
Yeah.
And kind of creating it for them, which is really cool. But I also love kind of the interaction with like the media and social media and that kind of stuff, and kind of talking to people and get people excited. And that's been a whole nother learning curve of how to talk to people and branding and keeping on brand and hashtags and learning all about hashtags.
Have you?
Yes.
What makes a good hashtag?
I'm not really
Becky?
sure still.
Okay.
Lucy. I'm still learning. Yeah. I keep just putting hashtag our toy on everything.
Yeah.
Hoping that kind of
It's hard to know what's going to land, isn't it?
It is.
And then you try and put yourself in the point of view of somebody who might use a hashtag to search for something.
Yes.
And then you realise, so I just want to put hashtag cats or cats of Instagram on everything just to kind of draw people in. But I think that's disingenuous.
But then you get lost because that's such a massive.
Oh, it's such a.
You need to be like quite specific and individual and unique.
Yes.
Yeah. Hashtag
Like,
individual.
art is good.
Hashtag.
Which I thought Adatoy is quite good because obviously there's not going to be any other Adatoys.
No.
And so I keep putting Adatoy on everything.
Yeah.
It's going to bite.
Should be good.
eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Good strategy.
Yeah,
I thought
like
so.
it.
Solid.
Like, it makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. I'm just going hashtags to everyone's very
Hashtag,
important.
hashtag.
But yeah, so it's been quite an interesting. Yeah, I've been kind of doing these 4 parts for maybe 6-9 months now, and
Yep.
it's kind of cool. It gives me lots of different variety.
Yeah, and you
Which is
must
nice. I like a bit of variety. I don't like
Yes.
doing the same thing.
No. And to be so connected to all the cool stuff that's going on.
I know.
That's so neat, eh?
Yeah, it is. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yes, I know what's going on.
And as a consequence, we're now connected because we're friends with you.
Yeah,
Friend of the
totally.
show.
Friend of the show. Can I still be a friend of the show on Adatoy?
Oh, God, absolutely. I mean, we're a broad church.
Okay,
a broad church.
No,
Oh, it's good to be back, isn't it?
It
I
is.
was a little bit kind of feeling funny about the radio today, but now I'm here. Can I just, this is probably a whole bunch of inside thoughts, but it's just really nice. So thank you. Oh my God. Becky.
Excellent. Yes.
Keep you on track.
on
right. So,
Kick us off.
Yes.
What's coming or starting or currently showing?
We are just finishing off our summer show, so we've had a really fantastic, really quite eclectic summer show. So we've obviously had a friend of the show, Esther Bunning.
Esther Bunning.
Her Phosphine exhibition was fantastic.
It was.
Really cool. And I like how all of her pieces had time frames.
So timestamps.
Yes,
Oh.
that was so clever.
It was so
So
cool.
clever.
Can I just, because the weirdest thing I have had, like the beginning of this year has been full of these weird little coincidences, but I've been listening to the Long Time Academy podcast, which is all about how you develop more long-term thinking as a kind of antidote to this short-term kind of thinking that we have.
Yeah.
Exactly that. This dystopian future we all appear to be living.
Exactly. It is, isn't it?
And so I've been thinking about, so when you, instead of writing the year 2022, you write 2022, because it kind of gives you a sense that we've got some time to march into, that there's more time ahead of us, that, it kind of give you a sense of your face came.
No, I'm sorry. No. I'm only looking at you at that because I was thinking, does this philosophy followed by a certain sector of, because I was just thinking, just off the top of my head, it's probably totally wrong, but like scientists, climate scientists,
Yes.
people who say that we aren't we don't have that much time, and like putting
Exactly.
a zero in front would make us feel like a false sense of security that we need to move faster than we are in terms of climate change.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's more about so the long-term project is all about making people appreciate the long term so you can start factoring in future generations into your policy thinking.
Right.
So following things like Indigenous cultures often have seventh generation thinking. Embedded in all the decisions that they make. So so the Long Time Academy podcast, and we will get back to what you're doing. There is totally a link.
Awesome.
There's economists, policy makers, politicians, activists, geneticists, medical people. All these people are kind of saying, do you know what, we need to combat the kind of complete sense of fatigue and despair that people might be feeling because the scale of the problems we face are so enormous. And we need to do that because as a species, we will continue to live on. We will, in some form or other. And at the moment, we are making lots of very short-term policy decisions which actively colonise the future. We make it almost impossible for future generations to make different decisions and do different things with the resources that might be remaining because we've effectively colonised the future here and now. So there's I'm at the beginning of this journey, but there's this thing that happens in policy making called discounting. So you effectively, if say you wanted to spend $3 billion on an amazing tidal power energy generation scheme, then policymakers would effectively, and there'll be economists out there who are going, you're explaining it all wrong. They essentially, because of the scale of the investment, they kind of almost seek to secure benefits in the shorter term.
Yes.
So they effectively, really, you wouldn't be seeing the benefits of that for maybe another 100 and 150 years. But policy currently doesn't allow you to spend money to benefit the 150-year ahead generation.
It's got to be next year or the year after.
Exactly. So lots of things that could effectively happen to combat climate change need super long-term thinking. But at the moment, apparently New Zealand has one of the biggest discount rates for policy and kind of treasury decisions. I think it runs at, I want to say 7%. In the UK, they're looking at 3%. So we effectively discount at a higher rate. So we're effectively colonising future generations. I just want to let people know that the Long Term Academy podcast is available on all good platforms. It's supported by Headspace, and it is really, really excellent. What's lovely, I'm getting all hot and excited.
It's an interesting collaboration. Why Headspace?
Because
anxiety of...
yep, absolutely. And also they've been amazing throughout lockdown, Headspace, with some resources. The other thing they do after every episode is you then do a meditative exercise. The first one they do is this incredible 10-minute exercise. You have to stand up, have your eyes shut, you walk into your future and you walk into your past.
Oh my God.
It is full body chills,
shivers.
and it makes you cry.
I just felt like crying as soon as you said it.
I really want people to go and look for this, and I think people like you who like look into space and you have a completely different appreciation. Sorry. And you're looking into space and you're thinking about these things, and you've got this, I think you'd really chime with it. But the one reason that Esther's project really alerted me was that there is a lot of cultural activity going on in the long-term future. So there's this 10,000-year clock that's being built in a desert. And I was thinking when I saw Esther's...
What's the desert?
I can't remember what desert it is.
Oh, it's in America somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what's it for?
Seed bank, that's it.
Norway?
Yeah. Right, yes.
That's the subject of many apocalyptic films. Yeah, that's where they all end up because it's a massive bunker.
Yeah. So when I walked into Esther's exhibition and she had all these timestamps, I was thinking, wow, this marking of time, and also the fact that her material is so fluid and that she used her camera to capture those things in real time, yet they have this incredible intergenerational, perpetuity,
And they're so different and they're so unique,
Yes.
and you're never going to see that moment in time again.
Yes,
Isn't it? It's
exactly.
that kind of oh, you've just caught that moment.
Yeah.
Exactly how it
and
was.
honouring that moment, you know, because I think the other thing that we do in this kind of short-term universe that we kind of live in is we forget to honour each and every moment that we live, no matter how dreadful it might feel. You know, I've been doing a lot of work on the Headspace app about, you know, the impermanence of things. And, you know, that can be kind of despairing, but it can also be really kind of heartening. It doesn't matter how dreadful we might have felt in the car coming over.
How horrendous your weekend.
Oh, Lucy, that's a step too far to reveal our car conversations.
But
It's because we're all told to live in the present and live in the now and be mindful about the now. Yes, I'm grateful for the now, but thinking about the future, we do need a bit of
we do.
some guidelines on how to think about the future in a positive way.
And that is, oh my God, you've summed it up so well, what the Long-Term Academy podcast. I mean, there's this other incredible app, and I think we should all do it. Maybe we should do it, the three of us. Okay. You can actually do a guided walk which measures out the time of the universe.
What?
And it's about...
Becky's all over that. Shiz.
It's about 5 kilometres long. I think it appears on the second episode of the Long-Term Academy podcast. It's about 5 kilometres long. So I was thinking we could do the Greytown rail trail.
Oh, that is mental.
And
That's
every
awesome.
step you take is a moment of our however billion years. How long have we been around?
4.5 billion.
4.5 billion years, and it measures it out. And so, another way of kind of getting into the sense of our, you know, our that we, you know, we're not just here for a moment. There are parts of us that have been in development all that time. You know. Yeah. So thank you, Esther, because Esther's exhibition came when I was at peak Long-Time Academy. It's interesting. You can't listen to it like bang, bang, bang. Because
it's so much to think about.
I've read a great book by Roman Kaczynski. I think he's an economist, called The Good Ancestors.
I saw you had that at the library.
Really,
I always
really
look at people's
excellent. Again, a
reserves.
great introduction to it. Introduces like the 7 pillars of long-term thinking, like cathedral thinking, a whole bunch of others I can't. 7th generation thinking.
What's cathedral thinking?
It's a great question.
These are big.
Yeah, big thinking, like kind of, you know, coming out of your interpersonal thinking and trying to, it's almost like a secular version of the seventh generation thinking. It's kind of, you know, just trying to not be so 5-year about everything, you know, And just using lots of really, really excellent research, economics research. You know, and economics has got a great deal to... you know, capitalism, the capitalist model, which was basically created at a moment in time. And we tend to think, well, we can't shake the capitalist model. Well, we totally can, because capitalism hasn't been around forever. No. So, you know, it's encouraging to think big, to think, you know, to think new, and to you know, a bit like, go on, you've got. Well,
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere, and I can't forget where. I apologise, but it was about how Muldoons think big projects of the 80s. So the big dams and everything that at the time were like, what, shocking, but actually maybe were quite a good idea because of the benefits that they've shown us now.
Long-term benefits, absolutely. And some of that big infrastructure stuff absolutely did. And what's interesting now, and this is a new thought I've had, is that we are now suffering a crisis of lack of funding in our infrastructure because policymakers and decision makers, after the big spending moments that we've seen in history, couldn't keep up with that because they couldn't think, well, if I keep on investing in an appropriate way, we will keep making sure that this dam, this bridge, this road, this wastewater scheme will be ready, you know, available for future generations. Yeah. Instead, we have a run to failure policy, which is, we'll worry about it in the future. Well, it's not us that will worry about it. It will be our kids.
Is that influenced by the amount of time that the government's in for?
Yes.
Per se,
yes, absolutely.
Or the funding oh my God. The funding cycles that most ministries and places that give money are on?
Yep.
Like in a 5-year cycle?
Totally. So in Japan, in England, there are all sorts of like citizens groups which are kind of loosely affiliated with either local, regional or central government, which try and use long-term thinking exercises to check and balance central government policy, which I think is really fascinating. So how can we mobilise people and all the incredible imagination they have to actually challenge central government in a really useful way? And, because I think at the moment we're probably seeing, the opposite of that to some degree. We're all being shown, we're all seeing examples of how we are being right now, which can also add to this desperate feeling. And so I found the long-term academy really useful just to kind of counter some of that doubt I had and some of that less positive questioning of major structures. With everything we face at the minute is all human made. It's all we invented. Most of the problems we're suffering right now, we can climb our way out of them. I have completely hijacked your moment. I'm so sorry. Esther Bunning, I blame you.
Do it via art, perhaps.
Yeah, public consultation via art.
Well,
Totally.
you should go on the environment.
Yes,
because we
thank
have
you.
a fantastic environmental, challenging, quite thought-provoking exhibition. And that's going to be our major autumn one, so it's going to be for the next couple of months.
Yeah.
And it's called Toitó Te Whenua, or Where the Land Will Always Remain. So bang on what you're just saying.
See, full body
And,
chills.
Yeah, so we've got 5 really fantastic, very different artists from around New Zealand, and they've collaborated and made this kind of a beautiful exhibition that actually everything works together. It's not just individual artists showing what they think what's going on, but it's actually a combined exhibition.
Okay.
And actually each artist is kind of playing off each other, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
So we've got etchings, we've got huge photographs, kind of aerial photographs, we've got paintings, we've got all these amazing things that are there to challenge and make you think about the social, political environment and kind of what we've done to it.
Yes.
And what we can do to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if a couple of years ago people would remember the water exhibition, the Waiwai exhibition.
Yes.
So this is kind of like an almost a second episode, really.
Okay.
It's kind of the next step about the land. And so thinking about, the cultural kind of aspects of the land and what we've done to it. And just, really, really quite beautiful collaboration. And actually, it's going to be a challenge. And I think art should kind of be quite challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
It should be. You should go into an art exhibition and feel something, and I really like that's what Arato is doing at the moment. They're really thinking about, there's something to take away.
Yeah.
And it's not just, that's a pretty picture, but actually there's something for you to think about, to, you might feel a bit sad afterwards, but that's okay. It's kind of, we're trying to get that emotion.
Yes.
And that's what art is really good at doing, I think.
Totally. And do you think I think, often like people have a visceral reaction to art. Either they love it or they hate it.
In Marmite.
Yeah, totally. But I think it's, what's really neat about people having those reactions with art is that if you can take the time or if you can find that moment to ask people, well, why do you feel that way? Because I think, doing that in real time and taking that time. And I think like the whole environment at Aratoy enables that to happen. Well, why am I feeling like that? And not to be scared of it, just to kind of really question ourselves. And again, that's an antidote to the kind of, keyboard warrior.
Totally,
like having this reaction now, I'm just going to subject everybody to it and just hope for the best,
There's these beautiful acrylic on canvas paintings by Jenna Packer. And she's really, it's really amazing, her pictures, because it's very much, there's chaos and there's order. So she'll have kind of this wild bush, and then in the centre there'll be this cleared land with this very Victorian kind of style garden. Yeah. And you're just like, I know exactly where that's going. It's kind of that, we're trying to order, chaos. And does that always work? And should we?
Yes.
Should we be actually kind of, I keep saying to my husband, I'm not going to battle chaos in the garden, but he doesn't quite.
You don't want to do the weeding.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do the weeding. I'm like, the weeds are good. Why battle chaos, really? It's the fundamental nature, physics of nature chaos. Why battle it? But yeah, it does kind of show you that we're always obsessed with trying to tidy things and neaten things and build things. Yeah. When actually, the environment has done a pretty good job for millions of years, billions of years without us.
Yes.
Can I just...
Long time academy stuff again. But
Sponsored by Arrow FM.
one of the interesting things, and this is related, it's not a complete segue into nowhere, but thinking about our species, what kind of a species are we? We always name previous iterations of ourselves. And in the Long Time Academy, there's one person they spoke to, an academic, who suggested that we were a custodial species, that actually what we're really good at is looking after things. We are good at looking after things. And if you think about particularly indigenous cultures where they honour the balance between human animals and other animals and nature, then you can exist in perfect balance and you can be a custodian. I've been trying to look at the way we farm in New Zealand a little bit more like that, anybody who wants to get something out of the land, some produce, we're custodians of that land in order to do it. But it's far less of extractive. It's much more of a kind way of looking at it. That to be a custodian, you've got to temper the extraction with the giving back. Which is
what of other generations? Is that like the industrialists and so on?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Absolutely. And they I wish I could. Honestly, I've got such a poor memory. I only but they did mention other ways of describing human beings, and there's this one, and I really liked, because I'm in the resource management industry and profession, and so I was trying to, and at the minute I'm doing a little bit of work with MFE on reform and these kind of grand ideas about reform, which are absolutely I'm 100% behind, but how do I as a planner need to see myself in order to do good work? And I thought, well, maybe I need to see myself as a custodian, and so the work that I'm doing is enabling other people to continue to do that custodianship.
Long-term thinking.
Absolutely. Sorry, Becky. It's going to be like this all night.
Fantastic. That is awesome. But no, it's meant to be a challenge, and I think that's quite cool. So that is on from got 2 weeks. We've got 2 weeks to take down our summer exhibitions, the printmakers, the New Zealand and Dutch kind of collaboration. That was pretty cool.
Really good.
But I really liked Natasha Cousins, her beautiful sculptures. Did you go and see it? Beyond the Red Flowers?
Is that in the big room?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Isn't it amazing?
With the mirrors and the creatures?
Yes, with the creatures, kind of the woodland creatures.
Oh, just stunning.
Part Japanese, part British.
Okay.
And so she's kind of intertwined lots of her stories and cultures and myths and legends from kind of around the world that she's kind of grown up with into these quite beautiful and very realistic but very emotive creatures. I mean, they're all very sad.
Yeah. Right.
They're kind of a bit gloomy, but that's good.
Like Watership Down.
Well, when I first saw it, because there's lots of rabbits, I was like, it's a bit Disney, isn't it? It's a bit kind of Bambi, dead. Watership Down, dead.
Yeah, there's like little teardrops of blood.
Teardrops look very sad rabbits. But again, it has kind of got that morbid, death is always on the horizon, but actually we can't be overwhelmed by it all the time, because otherwise we would forget how to live. And we're just stuck in the past.
Yeah.
And once I kind of got that, because obviously I kind of lost my mum a couple of months ago, and it was just like, and it's just like it really got you.
Yes.
And again, I think it was a really difficult exhibition. A lot of people in the office were not too keen on it to start with, but I think everybody absolutely has loved it.
Yes.
And people have come in and have gone, I get it. I get that. You're looking to there's a beautiful one of this beautiful fox that's kind of looking into this black hole, and kind of there's this memory kind of river, written in Japanese all the way to it, and it's just like, it really does kind of get you.
Absolutely.
But they're so beautiful at the same time, and they're just so stunning, and you've kind of got this lovely gold and black and red and white.
Yeah.
And I love all those kind of myths and fables anywhere around the world, and so kind of seeing the three fates from Greek mythology, kind of with these amazing like crocheted and knitted flowers. Everyone is meant to represent a life. Some are short and kind of small, and some are huge and flowery. And it was just like, this is amazing, and I hope a lot of people saw it over the summer, because that was pretty cool. So a little bit sad that's coming down today or tomorrow, but it does mean we're kind of paving the way for the land, the new,
yes.
Yeah,
I found that exhibition. I had a really interesting experience. So I'd come out of the video room.
Isn't that amazing?
Because again,
gets you stressed.
It does.
Crikey.
So that was there was 2 videos in the video room. There was one mega slow down again, because I've just listened to the Long Time Academy. I thought I'm staying here for this whole video.
I know.
Like super slow-mo of a bubble, a blow bubble meeting a cactus.
Oh.
And it's like, the doom is coming. It's coming.
And then the aftermath.
Was there music with it?
No, it's silent.
Yeah.
But you're just watching it, just going closer, getting closer, and your heart just starts racing. You know
Really
it's coming.
Yeah.
So you start tensing up a little
You
bit.
do. And like half of me was like, come on, just get to the cactus. And I'm thinking, no, calm down. It'll get to the cactus in its own
journey.
time. It's the journey. And then behind was the these lovely pair of hands come out, and there's a melon right in the middle. And they're putting
The
watermelon,
umbrellas.
what are they called?
Rubber bands.
Rubber bands.
I bet my mind is so fine-tuned by Wordle that I can anagram.
Don't talk to me about
I can anagram anything.
I was not in.
Umbrellas is an anagram of rubber bands.
What is?
Add a few letters.
Really?
Oh.
No. I was all ready to write that.
So was I. I was like, that's amazing.
It's good though. I had you nearly full, didn't I?
Even April.
Wordle. Dastardly Wordle.
Oh,
I'm on a 12 game streak though.
Are you?
Yeah.
I totally lost it with Dodge the other day.
it's
Even
a double letters, isn't it?
Yeah, but I got cork. Who else got cork?
I got
No, I
that.
don't
Yeah.
know what that is.
It's the stuff
Came out of
between tiles.
yeah.
I've got to
keep telling
clean
me
my
this.
cork.
Apparently, have some in the garage, but I was like, I've never seen it.
I think we call it something different in New Zealand because it's an American game now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So cork.
And they've just got rid of a load of words which, like, words which are easy. And also words...
Colour. They had colour, which I
Yes.
wouldn't have spelt without a U.
No,
but it was
definitely.
COLOR. So you got to watch out for those.
There's a bit of editorialising I
Transatlantic.
don't like. Really, actually, with Wordle now.
How do you mean? Since it's been sold.
Yeah, so there was, the old-fashioned word for sex worker was in there. For some reason, I can say all the other rude words. It begins with W.
WH?
Yeah, and they
Really?
got rid of that.
Oh.
I know, and I just don't know. Yes, I can see that it's offensive, but
Wordle. Do you know there's a...
Wordle. Gotcha. No,
I think, what is this word?
sorry. Suddenly, I've got kind of all weird on.
Hey, but there's so many other good versions. So there's one
Noodle.
called
Yes,
Noodle.
Noodle's quite
That's
good.
the lewd version.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's really hard because it's like my
only 5
filthy
letters
mind's only got so many things in it. And one I found the other day, which I can't remember what it's called, is a geography style Wordle. So they show you a picture of a country, the outline of a country,
Yes.
and you have 5 guesses to guess what it is. And each time it tells you do your guess, and then it will tell you east, west, north, how many percentage away you are from the target country.
Oh, I like the sound
Really
of that.
good. So my first go, I sat in front of the world map in Aiden's bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like, can I find this? And it was like Gabon or some obscure country, which I had no idea what it looked like.
And do you have like the numbers of letters as well, or is it just you just got 5?
It's 5. No, it's just you
5
just
goes.
choose the country.
I like the sound of that one.
So it's not just 5 letters.
No, it's
No.
not any letters. It's just
Just guesses.
there's like a drop-down
like
menu
no-
of countries.
Got it.
But it's called Global or Glurdle or something. I forget.
Okay. Brilliant. I like that. What other ones are there?
There's Hello Wordle,
Hello Wordle.
which is instead of just getting one a day, you can just have continuous.
Oh,
And you can change the amount of letters. So you
Oh.
can do 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I tried the 9 and my brain just about imploded.
I can't think of a single 9-letter word off the top of my head already.
No.
No, that was
Exactly.
the trouble. I couldn't
Oh,
keep going.
exactly.
What'd you start?
Because, and I've told Mups this is my special technique, and it's not that special because I read it somewhere and I've been using it. So, would you like to hear my
Yes,
special
yes,
Wordle
yes,
technique?
Yes.
So this mathematician in America worked out that the statistical probability of a certain word, if you put it into Wordle each time, the likelihood of you getting a combination of letters is like 70% or something, which is a
Right.
good go for your first shot.
Yeah.
So the word is crane, C-R-A-N-E.
Oh, okay.
If you always start off with that,
Yep.
you're 70% of the time likely to hit at least 2 or more letters.
Okay.
It's the E's, isn't it? It's the E's.
Yeah, the A's and the
I start
E's.
with Earth. Earth is my start
always,
word.
always?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
Though, recently, it's not been performing as well.
No.
So I might try
Maybe your
crane.
statistical probability
Yeah.
factor is out.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe
Maybe
look
it is.
around the house and go, light. Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, that's neat.
Cork.
Cork.
I go into the bathroom and look at the tiles. Cork.
Oils.
Or tacit was the other one. Oh, I should have said that. That was today's.
No, Katie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You would have
Sorry.
That's like saying the end of a film.
I know, Mup's got it before me, and I was like, what?
I had to Google what that meant because I had no idea.
What, tacit?
Yeah, not a clue.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard that word before.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
But you're always tacitly complicit.
Maybe I am, but I just didn't know the word for it.
You're often tacit, I've thought. I've thought
I'd
about
never
Becky
known that
Bateman.
was-
I think,
Tacit.
tacit.
Is that a compliment? I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's terrible. That's a terrible faux pas. I apologise.
Well, you've ruined Wordle for me.
Sorry.
now.
Well, why don't you try glodal?
Glodal.
Look it up now.
Bon.
Or try Hello Wordle. Try Hello Wordle, and then you can have multiple attempts.
Okay. Yes.
That'll
Thank
make
you.
feel
Will
better.
do.
Is that made up for the disappointment?
Yeah.
Global
No.
Wordle. Find out what.
More art, Becky, because you've brought in 2 sheets of A4.
I have brought in a lot is going on, I have to say. As I was saying, I've been doing this kind of exhibition coordinating.
Yes.
And the most recent one has been a fabulous artist showcase. It's going to be the first one in an artist showcase. So we're thinking of having community groups and all sorts of kind of amazing collections of different people.
Okay.
And so the first one is from Con Art, from the galleries in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
Friends of Adult. Friends
Yes.
of the show? Adult.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we've had them
Friends
on.
of the community.
Friends of the
Yes.
community.
Such a
They're
good space.
So good, aren't they? They're so good. So they have got 4 artists. So they've got Michaela Foster, who does those beautiful kind of very lifelike oil paintings. She's
Oh,
incredible.
yes.
And like coming from someone who cannot draw a face at all, it's just like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
How do you do that in paint? You know? We've got Shelley Vernon, who's got these beautiful ceramics. So they're very much to be used and held and enjoyed, even though they're so beautiful. You know, you're meant to use them. We've got Lindy McLaughlin, who does. I've absolutely fallen in love with her paintings. She's got these beautiful acrylic kind of meadows, these wildflower meadows. Oh, they're gorgeous. And there's one that has kind of got like footprint, like a footpath, you know, that someone's clearly walked through, and you just feel like you're just there. You know, you're just like, I can just walk through this meadow. It's beautiful.
That's what I want.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
One of wildflower meadow with a mowing strip.
Well, I've been trying the bottom of my garden, but this looks a bit more like a dandelion graveyard. It's not quite the romantic, wildflower meadow. I was hoping
You
for.
in a white dress with a sun
Yes,
hat.
and it's just like, I just brushed past another dead bit of poison ivy, and it's not quite the romantic one I'm looking for. And then finally, we've got Jim Simmons, who's a photographer, and he's really quite good because, like with Lindy, she's very much showing you kind of these wild meadows, these beautiful kind of open spaces. But what Jim has done, this is quite clever, is he's showing you places that people often kind of overlook or you don't see or you just don't take any notice of. So he's got this fabulous one of this kind of car graveyard, and you can only see it on the train to Masterton. There's no other way you can see this kind of pile of cars.
Yeah.
And he said to me when I was like, well, what is this?
Yeah, I think I have seen that
And-
when we went on the steam train ride.
Yeah.
And you can only see it from the
Stacked high.
Yeah, that's right. It's really
Yeah.
big. And he was like, the amount of people who've gone past that every day and have never noticed it.
Yeah.
But it's just out your window, but you just don't notice it because
Wow.
you're just engrossed in something else.
Yeah.
And I think it's all about, what you're missing and just take another kind of moment in time.
Yes.
You're looking at, you're being very present. You're, looking at your car or your train window and you're seeing things that people might have missed.
Yeah.
And so they're really 4 very different, but I think they're together so beautifully.
Yeah.
And they kind of complement each other with, Michaela's very much is all about her journey as being an artist and kind of the challenge she's overcome. She's very young. I mean, she decided when she was about 18, she's like, right, Mum and Dad, I'm going to be a full-time artist.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, okay, we'll support you.
Gosh.
And so you can kind of see that in her paintings and kind of this real struggle,
Yeah.
but actually kind of the beauty and stuff that's come out of her paintings is really
Yeah.
cool. But no, they were really, really awesome, and it's been so lovely coordinating, because they're all such fabulous people and they've all got these amazing stories to kind of share. And just across the road, there's such talent in the Wairarapa of these amazing artists. It's just been so awesome to kind of coordinate and put up. It's been awesome. So that's up until the 3rd of April.
Okay. And opens when?
It's already open. It opened last week.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had a fabulous artist talk, very COVID safe.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Good.
Everyone had masks on and all that kind of stuff. But Lindy brought in an actual Eason. She actually did a painting there and then.
Wow.
Which is quite cool. And she was really fun because, when you're thinking about wild meadows, you're thinking, well, you probably have to draw lots of flowers, lots of grass. But she was saying that she almost kind of draws...
of it.
Yeah, because it's one of those ones you look really close and it's all just triangles and squares.
Yeah.
And you can't see its flowers and meadows and trees, but as soon as you walk back, very kind of mono, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, there's this beautiful meadow.
Wow.
But it's all just triangles and these shapes that she's spotted kind of in the, reverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is really cool. So that's going on. We do have the Wesley Wing closed though. So we've lost a space, but do not be sad.
Why is
We're
that?
refurbing the floor.
Oh, it's a beautiful floor.
It is a beautiful floor. So I think it's Martai.
Oh.
That's the church part.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's been heavily bombarded for the last couple of years, so many different exhibitions.
Yeah.
And we just thought it was about time to kind of give it a bit of love.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of funding from, I think, Trust Lands
Masterton Trust Lands.
That's the one.
Good on them.
And we're going to have it closed for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so. But we're just going to have it all sanded and polished and kind of all the bits that were a little bit broken taken up and redone. So it's going to look fab.
It's going to look amazing.
Yeah. So Kate and I are allowed to go in there first when it's back. So we're going to do this rather interesting. Because every year we do a Matariki kind of winter festival kind of thing.
Yes.
So this year...
Well, it's the first year of public holiday, isn't it?
Yes.
Official.
So,
fabulous.
This year.
Yes.
That's correct,
June.
isn't it?
Yeah. So we're going to do something a little bit different. So watch this space. It's going to be rather fabulous. And it's going to have maybe a bit of a navigational journey edge to it. But it's going to be slightly different to your normal exhibition.
Okay.
So keep...
Okay.
Hints for you there.
Terribly mysterious.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Just means I haven't quite figured out. I'm not going to tell you any more, just in case I change my mind and go, actually, it's very dull. No. But and then finally, we've got William Beetham and his fabulous portrait. So, do you two know who William Beetham is?
Yes,
You do? He's super famous. Yes, he's...
Sorry.
Well, I only realised he was super famous about 3 weeks ago, and I was like, crikey, these are pretty awesome. So he was a really very famous, very well-established portrait artist in the UK in about the 1850s.
Oh, okay. So not
famous.
a now fella.
No.
Okay.
So,
From your country, darling.
Well, now he's sounding familiar. Now I've got a bit of context.
But he was very famous. So he moved his entire family, about 10 children, I think, over to Wellington in the 1850s, 1855, I think it was. And he was one of these very first colonists, and he created this huge pastoral land of Brantsbeth, which is out in the Wairarapa.
Yeah.
You know,
huge.
God, you've got to read the book, which you can get at...
At a toy.
Yes, and also at the other bookshop.
Yep.
The good
Headley's.
Headley's,
Yeah.
And we went there for a tour. It was on the part of the garden tour one year.
Yes.
And the gardens are sensational, but it wasn't an entire working farm.
Yeah.
That was just left. Like everything is perfectly preserved. I'll lend you the book.
It is amazing.
Like posters on the wall from 1920s. They had a little post office. They had
a library.
Yeah, they had a station, because most stations had a library. So there's a wonderful book by Lydia Weaver.
That's right.
Who wrote a book about colonial reading and station life and libraries on station life, because it was a really communal thing that most big stations would lend out books to their workers.
Oh, how lovely.
It's a fabulous place if you can get there.
It's very cool. We had a tour of there for our Christmas party, because we're very cultured. We just, have tours around cultural places.
Yeah.
And it's marvellous. Like it's
like a time warp.
It really is.
Wow.
And
like the saddlery and the young guy that had worked there. It's like he's just walked out the door and left, because all his
it's
his
awesome.
To go there.
It's really cool.
What's it called again?
Yeah, Branspeth.
Branspeth. It looks like a castle because it's in a particular.
And it's here in Wairarapa.
Yeah.
Branspeth.
Branspeth. Yeah, it's very cool.
Never heard of it.
But it's awesome.
Sensational.
It's a bit ghostly.
Yeah.
Yes, it was almost kind of like you can imagine there'd be ghosts walking up and down the halls.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Good
kind
for
of
photography.
very good for photography.
Yeah.
On my Instagram, there's quite a few photos because I went a bit crazy. Yeah.
Oh, I have to look him
It's
up.
very cool. Anyway, so
It's very
we've got
atmospheric.
a whole exhibition on William and his family and kind of the whole part they played in Wairarapa's history.
Yeah.
So I think one of his sons actually started the first Pinot Noir vineyard up in Marston.
Okay.
And like they've, one of his sons was actually, started the Royal Society or something. There's a huge amount.
They're a big family.
It's
Monty
huge.
Beetham.
Yeah, Beethams. But it's going to be really
Still
cool.
around.
So,
The Beethams. They're still around, eh?
yeah.
Lots of Beethams.
So,
Yes.
yeah, so I think Ed Beetham still lives at Branspeth as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's heaps of Beethams.
Yeah.
But they're an amazing family. They've done so many things and kind of every kid has like done a huge thing for New Zealand. You're like, crikey, this is an amazing family. But the really cool thing is a lot of these paintings have been lent by the family and they've actually not been in public viewing before. So that's going to be really awesome. And so, yeah, I was looking at them.
Everybody.
Yeah, I was looking at them the other day in the prep room, and you could definitely see like there's this whole kind of line of the family, and you've kind of got Mary and William, the parents, and then you could definitely see which kid had got which person's hair.
Yeah.
Genetics. It was really obvious. You're like, Dad, Mum, Dad. Because they're it's really interesting seeing them all lined up, and they've all got the most amazing names.
Yeah.
They've all got nicknames. And none of them are actually named as they intended. They're all like, I can't remember any of them now, but they're all hilariously named and got good nicknames.
Yeah.
But that's
Flopsy or Flopsy or something.
something like that, isn't it? But they are very cool, and that's going to be on again 5th of March to 26th of June, just like the Land of Lords Remain. So it's going to be two really good, kind of very historical, but kind of environmental exhibitions that kind of all complement each other, even though they're very different, which is pretty cool.
I think the Alatoy is knocking it out the park at the minute. It really is.
There's some good stuff going on. There's
really
some good stuff in the next couple of months, because obviously we have like a year plan, like 18-month plan, and just seeing what's coming up, you're like, oh, that's going to be good. Oh, that's also going to be. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. So there's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Is it too soon to talk about holiday programs? It is a bit
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
They've only just come back.
They've only just come back, surely.
That's why I said, is it too soon?
Yeah, April, isn't it? April?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
March?
It'll be with us soon, won't it?
Yeah.
The
You know
wet
how these
holidays.
things
Eh?
creep up on you.
They do. Well, that was
Great, man.
lovely. You just,
Culture time.
absolutely, yes. And a bit hard for you to look up in the sky at the moment with all this
Well, I
cloud.
went out this week. So
You did?
Yeah. So been out for a couple of times this week.
Branspeth.
Yeah, I've been doing ReCooper8 Astro course this week.
Oh, yes.
4 Wednesdays we're doing Astro.
Nighttime learning.
Yes.
How's it going?
School. Good.
A full class?
Yeah, I got 11.
Wow.
I was meant to have 10, but there was an extra one snuck in. We're like, oh, go on then.
Oh.
Go on in. But it's really cool. I love doing the Astro classes because there's really interesting people you get to meet.
Yeah.
And they obviously love space and kind of want to know a little bit more. But obviously we're only scratching the very surface of space in 4 hour-and-a-half sessions. But I love it that everyone's really into it. And it's like, we want to know more. And like constantly asking all these questions at the end. You're like, yep, I'll find that out for next week. That's a good one. But yeah, that's been really fun. So I've been doing like February, March is always a little bit wet and a bit odd.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to kind of put these indoor classes in. So I'm not too, freaked out by the weather.
Yeah.
But I think in term 2, we're going to try and do an online one for people who aren't vaccine passed or, can't come out or live somewhere else that can't come to Marston on a Wednesday night.
Right.
And so we can do some kind of online learning as well. So kind of everyone's included.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Everyone should be able to
Great.
look at the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's the commons.
And you've had some visitors, I heard, coming to check out your business model.
Yes. So,
Oh, yes.
Excuse me.
I feel...
Is this the BBC?
Well, that as well, yeah.
That as well. Sorry, I was thinking local. I wasn't thinking big.
Okay.
Yes, you have been on the BBC.
Yeah, that article was
very
fabulous.
good.
Really good, yes.
And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm on the BBC. And I was like, right, everyone in England, who do I know in England? Tell everyone in England. But no, that was very cool. So I did that article or that interview, it feels like about a year ago. And it just took ages.
Forgot about it.
I totally did. And then when it popped, I was like, oh my God. Was I saying the right thing? Yeah, I think that's yeah. But that's good. I think it's really awesome that more places are popping up, kind of dark sky related, and that are interested in the sky. And, the more the merrier. People looking at the sky, it can't be a bad thing, can it? No.
There's plenty of it to go round.
There's plenty of it to go around. Just, outside the Wairarapa, I want this to my own. Anyone else, that's fine. No.
Hands off.
But yeah.
Awesome. Should we have some music, Katie? Because it's been a long time. We've been talking for 55 minutes.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we have. That's
a long
nuts.
time between drinks.
Yeah. Now hopefully your phone will work.
Yes, so we'll
this
just
is
try
what
it, and if
we
not,
all hope
then,
for.
Then that's
Yes, thank you. Rebecca Kempton's she's a very, very keen listener, which is lovely. And I like to think friend of the show. And she's, Brancepeth, Brancepeth. Never heard of it. Absolutely, honestly.
It's pretty fabulous.
Yes.
Yes.
I bloody well will. And can anyone go? Did we establish that?
well, when I went, it was part of the Wairarapa Pukaha Mount Bruce garden tour that they do as a fundraiser.
Yep.
That was 4 or 5 years ago now. But I think they might do tours, but maybe now. I don't know.
No. Okay.
Yeah. But that book is fantastic, The Boar's Path. Is that right?
That's right. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. It's got some really amazing photos and stories from the family, and really good.
Awesome.
All right, so I am going to treat you to this little sound bite. So, aha, we all love a bit of aha.
Yes. Yeah.
Take on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is a pretty cool cover, I think. It's by a American bluegrass band called Love Cannon. Love Cannon.
Love Cannon.
Right.
I love Cannon.
Do you love the cannons? I love the cannons. Let's try it, and if it doesn't work, then we'll have to switch to what's her face's phone.
All right.
Lucy.
That'll be me. Hello, everyone.
No, it didn't work. Sorry, folks. We're going to try that again. I don't know. I think my phone's old and
right. I'll just turn up this and
grumpy and silly. We got the right.
I need
dongle,
that end, please.
Which dongle?
That dongle. The flat dongle.
Yeah.
Give me some of your flat dongle.
Dongle.
Give me some of your flat dongle. Hang on a minute. I've just got to find. Where do I keep? Oh,
Spotify.
Yeah. Where do I keep it?
I don't know.
Oh, shivers. Oh, no.
I sent it to
all
him
nervous
WhatsApp.
now. Yeah,
WhatsApp.
hang on. Oh, yeah.
Go to the link.
Oh, my God. I'm just like an old lady. Hang on. Right.
She's stabbing at her phone like the hunter-gatherer style of touch typists. Like,
So Take On Me by Love Cannon.
That's the one.
I pressed it.
Thank you.
Talk
pleasure.
Tell me your thoughts.
Well-
Is it just something said quite potentially insulting to me?
I said
Lucy,
for-
would you care to...
Well, I said interesting number. For some people, that might make the shit list.
I think it's genius.
It
And
was very frenetic.
pleased to share it with you today.
Oh, well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Never hear that, would you?
No.
It's not your average cover.
Absolutely. You won't hear that on More FM. And you're playing it again.
I think I might make it my ringtone.
Becky's
Maybe Lucy's the theme ringtone every time you phone.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. I get
It's a
it.
bit Deliverance-y, as you said. I must say, though,
Yeah.
Deliverance was a seminal film.
I've never seen it.
What?
I know.
I've not seen it
you
either.
neither.
What?
You neither. Her neither.
There's a lot. I think you might be joining my list of people who need a film education.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be
And
happy to join
Jane
that.
Ross, friend of the show, would be sad to know that you've never seen that.
Well, I've always been a bit nervous of it because I'm not, I do find, films have to hit a certain
Yeah.
spot for me to get through them without hiding or crying.
It's kind of, it's an uncomfortable watch, and I did watch it when I was 16.
Okay.
The night my grandfather died.
Wow.
We got the call after the film finished
gonna
that
say
he
that.
died.
Yeah.
So always a bit weird association in my mind.
Yes.
And it is quite unpleasant.
Yeah.
But that music, the dueling banjos from it, can't beat it. It's creepy. It's a creepy film.
Yeah.
Because they
always
flooded town. You know when they go down the river?
Yeah.
That river and whitewater rafting part had been made because they'd flooded an entire town. So the kind of opening shots, you see this underwater dead town, basically.
Oh.
It's creepy. And
Yeah.
all the
Where
whole...
was it shot?
I think it was from the Appalachians or somewhere in that kind of mountain region where there are a lot of,
Yeah.
how do you say politely, inbreeding going on. A lot of the actors and extras were genuine residents who were of that
Right.
inclined.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Right.
uneasy. It's an uneasy watch.
Yeah.
It's a good watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go from there.
I'm going to add it to the list of the things you need to see. 'Cause there's something else the other
it's
day.
such a long list.
It is getting
I've
so
never
long.
seen Clockwork Orange.
My dad took my mum to see that on one of their first dates.
No, really? I mean, even I know that you don't do that.
Yeah.
Have you've seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're film literate. I am
Yeah.
film illiterate.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Again, I just couldn't. I
Hey,
couldn't.
we've just signed up though for the Arrow Street video because we used to be members.
Yeah.
But you can sponsor a film, so to keep it in their catalogue
Yeah.
because they've got so many. They've got like God, I think it's over 30,000 films in their catalogue.
Gosh.
And like rare things that you can't get or no longer released, or things on DVD and VHS and so on.
Yeah.
And if you like a film or it's special to you, you can sponsor it to keep
Yeah.
it in their catalogue.
Oh, okay. So what have you sponsored?
I haven't sponsored yet, but I'm thinking about it. But we've just signed up for a 10 trip card. So they post it to you.
Yeah.
So we got out, what we got out for Aidan is to watch The Dam Busters.
Oh, good.
Oh, I love that film.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's quite, we were talking about it because it's
Like dated?
Wow. I don't know if I can say.
No, I don't
I
think you.
think I can.
No, I think I know what you're going to say.
Character of the dog.
Yeah, you can't say
No, I
that.
can't.
No,
But it's shocking.
You're a dog. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
shocking.
it's
And at first I
Yeah.
misheard it and I was like, did he
Yeah.
say? And I was
Yeah.
like, and then I looked it up on Wikipedia and it's a whole thing.
yeah.
And I totally didn't remember that because, again, I watched it when I was quite young, like
Yeah.
10 or something. But yeah, so we got that out and I had no idea, so that was embarrassing. And then, then I got out Truly, Madly, Deeply.
Oh,
Alan.
Juliet Stevenson.
Yeah, and Alan Rickman, great film, but you can't get it out on DVD anymore. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Oh, you have to sponsor that.
so I've made a list of we've all put in our requests, and
Yeah.
we're gonna put in our 10 trip, and then you just mail it back.
Oh, could you add like I want
You want?
I want. All right, hear me out. Witness for the Prosecution. It's a Marlene Dietrich film. I had that on hard repeat when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's
Mum,
good.
if you're listening, you remember. I love a good black and white movie. Witness for the Prosecution. Yeah, and I used to have one of the lines in my head. My friend Jessica, she can do a great impression of Marlene
Marlene.
Dietrich singing.
Yeah.
Falling in love again. Why am I stay?
Great. And if you got one of my 10 trips, what would you choose, Becky Bateman?
I have just introduced Hugh, so my eldest, who's 8 nearly, to
Isn't it
Greek
great?
legends.
Who?
Greek legends.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
So, like, Perseus and Medusa.
Oh, yeah.
And the Trojan Wars. And he's like, can I watch the Trojan? I'm like, maybe not.
Troy.
No, maybe not just yet. But when I was a kid...
Brad Pitt was done an injustice in that film.
He was, wasn't he? When I was a kid, I had 3 films on hard repeat, 3 very different films.
Yes.
Oh,
One
don't
of,
tell.
Sound of Music.
Yes.
Always. Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. So I'm not looking forward to this one with moustache.
It's been Kenneth Branagh's version.
Yes.
It's been slated,
Oh,
I'm afraid. Yeah.
Oh.
It's
But
been
the one-
slated.
The one I would choose would be Clash of the Titans, the 1981 version.
Wow.
Oh, it's so cheesy. It's amazing.
There's some great special effects in that.
Very good.
with the little kind of plasticine kind of...
Because I thought it'd be less scary for the boys to watch of kind of Medusa kind of, waddling across.
kind of all her many...
William's still freaked out and hid behind the sofa. I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
really?
maybe not. But it's one of those ones that...
Oh, what an
I
interesting
think,
hard repeat film.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
So
3
much
very strange
polystyrene
ones, aren't
was
they?
abused in that.
Yeah, that's so different.
But clearly a nerd from very early on.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
There was
maybe
a whole bunch of films like Clash of the Titans, weren't there, that used the same kind of, stop motion animation.
Godzilla, early Godzillas.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love monster films, like stuff with big monsters in.
Yeah.
Do you?
I've just started reading Kim Stanley. Oh, what's his name? Kim Stanley. Hang on. Robinson, another long time Academy recommendation. He writes they call it speculative fiction now, not science fiction.
Oh, speculative
fiction, yeah. And I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but it kind of, near future, which isn't anything like Clash of the Titans. Maybe you should play some more music. I'm losing the plot. I just wanted to do a segue to nowhere. Should we call Rebecca?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We need to think about that. Shall I come round and plug her number in?
Yeah.
Hopefully she's there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to play some more music or?
Well, you can't ring her while I'm playing music, can you?
No, I can't. That's right. Absolutely right. I was just testing.
You're just testing that I was awake. Have you watched Don't Look Up?
Yes,
Twice.
I did.
I loved
You saw it twice.
Yes. Once when it had. Oh, I'll come back round.
Okay.
So like some HD tellies have that weird. It's because the frames per second. I don't know.
Yes.
And
Like
so
the
I.
Hobbit.
Yes, I saw one film. I saw one version of it like that, and I just could not focus. And also, it didn't have subtitles on, and I do need the subtitles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so then I watched it again without the funny Uncanny Valley vision thing going on, and I loved it. I thought Cate Blanchett was amazing.
Yes.
Did she have false teeth?
Probably.
Great teeth. And he's looking kind of beat up now, isn't he?
Who, Leonardo?
Yeah. He's do you still like him though?
Kind of do.
Bit of a yeah. There's a lot of him though. He's got a big face.
What did you think of the science aspect, Becky Bayman?
Yes, the science.
Had they got that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it would take a long time for a comet like that to arrive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think even blowing it up probably wouldn't have been terribly helpful.
Yeah.
But it is. I can. There's people in this world which I can imagine would be that character of no. We'll let it fall and we'll mine it to see.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know exactly who would.
Exactly.
Go for that.
He's currently mining the sky with things, isn't he?
Yes,
Wasn't Mark
yes.
Rylance amazing
Oh,
though?
he was
God,
good.
he is just such a cool actor.
He's so
he is
different in
awesome.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a stage
Brilliant.
actor, isn't he? First and foremost, and he just brings that real craft, doesn't he? You just think, oh my God, just even breathing the same air, you'd learn heaps about.
And I
whatever.
really liked. Who's the president?
Oh,
Oh, she was fabulous. I thought she was.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you know how they were calling her GOAT?
Yeah.
No goat?
Yeah.
Do you know what GOAT means?
No.
It's an acronym,
Right.
as it's used in this context, as GOAT, greatest of all time.
Right.
And the other actors in the cast were saying, "Oh, Meryl, she's such a great goat," and she's so sweet and darling that she just thought, "Yes, they're calling me an old goat, but I don't mind because I am an old goat."
She had no idea.
She had no idea that they were referring to her as the greatest of all time actress or actor.
Love it. Well, she's pretty good.
She's pretty good. She's pretty good.
She did have a bit of a Trumpiness about her, which
yes,
I did quite
I think
enjoy.
that was intentional, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We've
got the Meet the Mertens.
Yes.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second. So I'm
Okay.
just going to go here, and then I'm going to go here, there, and then I'm going to. You just need to turn that
yes.
up, and then we're going to. You'll need to put your headphones on.
Woo!
First, Becky Bateman.
Okay.
And
Becky Bateman.
We just can't stop
Just
calling you full
the
name.
surname always has to follow.
is it ringing?
There we go.
You can hear it. Good.
Yes.
Hang on.
Is that loud enough, your level?
Yes, I think so. Why isn't she on? Oh,
Hello.
hello. How are you?
Hi, Lucy.
Hello. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can
Yes.
hear you.
Hi,
Very
Rebecca, it's Katie here.
beautiful.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I've got. You're only coming out of one of my ears, but that's my problem, not yours. Okay.
Yeah, you sound like you're a million miles away, Lucy.
Oh, do I? I'm here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? We'll let Katie do the talking. Tell us now. This is the Meet the Mertens section. Where,
Mertens.
The Mertens.
And-
Got to do our intro
Yeah,
song.
yeah, the song, please. The song.
Meet
the
the
Mertens.
Mertens.
Meet the Mertens.
Meet.
Is that it? Meet
Can't
the
remember
Mertens.
the
I can't
tune.
remember.
Something like
I
that.
apologise for my co-host. Harold.
I can't remember the tune. It's so good to have you here. So you have decided to kind of rip it all up and take yourself and your family away around the country in a camper van. You've done a couple of. You hadn't even been on the road for very long last time we spoke, eh?
Yeah. I'll just have to jump in here, though, but because it's not a camper van, Lucy.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a bus.
It's a house bus.
Oh, shit, I'm so sorry. I've been making
I'm sorry,
mistakes all
but
over.
you just have to paint the picture correctly
Okay.
because it's 11 and a half metres. It's a beast.
That's
It's not a camper van.
It's a house on wheels.
Yes.
It's not a maggot, as someone has called all the little white. Yes,
Is
I
that
know.
what they're calling them now?
Someone.
That's
We
the
were talking
name du
about
jour.
we were talking about the different campgrounds you can go to, and
Right.
oh man, we've met choice people, and this one couple were just really cool, and they were our neighbours for a few days, and but he talked about the maggots, and I was like, oh, actually, it's quite an actual description of all the very white camper vans
We
that
might have to
park.
delve into that, Rebecca, and the whole strata and class system of the life on the
God.
road. Can you tell us a bit about that?
There really is.
What
there really is.
Okay.
Well, I guess like we've literally 5 minutes ago just pulled. We've just driven from Queenstown today. Not very far, like 40 minutes, maybe 45, because we're in a slow-moving house bus. But so we're now just camped in this beautiful Freedom camping place, and so there's all sorts of actually different coloured vehicles here tonight, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking over. I think it's still Lake Wakatupu, and I think it's just the southern end of the S. And there's lots of there's even cabbage trees here actually, which is kind of nice because actually it's quite interesting having come from the west coast, which is just incredible natural native bush.
Yeah.
And then you kind of come through the Haast, which we did do, and then all of a sudden it's quite barren and just introduced trees everywhere, which is kind of crazy. Though I've just found out about this, and I know that I am diverging away from the class system of campers,
that's
but
fine.
actually I think this is a little bit more
diverge with
interesting because I was like, wow, I felt really sad actually that all these hills and mountains, when we turned up and got through the Haast Pass, suddenly they were looking really barren, and there was just pine trees and natives were not to be seen. But I just found out because we just visited Arrowtown, I think it was, yesterday, and there was a really interesting what was it? It was a really old house that they had kind of recreated, and in it was all the plans that they are doing for regenerating the bush, and I can't quite remember what they called it now. Anyway, it was it's beautiful. It's about healing the land, and it talked about the fact that all the trees hadn't just been burnt down by the settlers, which I kind of thought they had, but that maybe 20,000 years ago even, there might have been like lightning strikes and things that had actually nailed all the really big bush. And then since then, it had kind of just scrub had come. So, it was kind of interesting because, and then of course, yes, it had been accidental or purposeful fires since then from human occupation, but not just the settlers. So I just thought it was interesting. Anyway,
that is interesting, and because we've been having quite an intellectual debate this evening about man.
You have not.
I know. Can you imagine? In fact, I just dominated the conversation for a bit earlier on because I'm all on this crusade of learning. But it's been really interesting tonight, hasn't it? We've got lots of kind of little connections, and you've had this incredible experience where your concept of the past has kind of been expanded by new knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not on drugs, I promise.
And it was amazing because we also were going through the Chinese miners settlement there in Arrowtown, and I do remember visiting these areas as a 17-year-old. I think we came on a South Island tour, history and geography trip from Nana College, and I remember these things, and they've been developed a lot more since then. But I remember my mind being blown back then, actually, that there was this huge community that had arrived and thrived. Well, thrived? I don't know if that's the word, actually. Some of them had, the ones who had stores and things thrived, and then numbers probably didn't actually. Had a really hard life. But God, because it was freezing yesterday in Arrowtown. It was a sunny-ish day, but it was very, very cold. And when you look at these little huts, that are just made of stones and oh my God, it must have been so brutal. And then the majority of them had come from southern China. That would be so warm and tropical, and then they arrived, and oh wow, what a hard life. Anyway, so that always blows me away, that kind of history, and I love that. But so today we've been in Queenstown, enjoying just the jewel of the touristic crown of Queenstown, and it was just magic today. It was blue sky and it was amazing. So we although turning up with an 11.5 metre house bus in Queenstown is not that straightforward. So all of a sudden we were driving in, and then, because it's really hilly, and I kind of didn't remember didn't remember the fact that it was like that. Anyway, and so I kind of, Leo had me on the phone ringing me up the eyesight saying, where are we going to park? And so I'm ringing and I'm talking to this woman, and she clearly didn't understand because she sent me to this little car park. So she clearly didn't understand the part that we needed a large parking place. Anyway, and then there was roadwork. So then we ended up, oh my God, having to go down this insane street that was very, very steep in this big bus. And Leo he seemed very calm at the time, but I think maybe it was just fear. Because he said later that he was just terrified that if the brakes hadn't worked, we were going to end up in the lake, because, the lake was just there. Anyway, we made it. Our tow bar left a little token of our appreciation on the road as we came down.
I bet that made a racket.
But then, and then we were kind of like, oh my God, let's just leave this place, because we just kind of were not coping. But then we found an amazing park by the lake, and then and then we went up the gondola, and then when we did the luge, and then I had to do a paraglide. So
You had to do a paraglide.
I know, I had to do one.
How was it?
Because it was kind of on special.
Yeah. Oh, great.
And it was this incredible day, and I just thought, I'm never going to get this opportunity, because as soon as they open the gates again, and everyone's let back in, it's going to go back to very crowded and very expensive.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was amazing.
Oh.
And I got a video of myself, because the guy does a GoPro as you're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm quite kind of hysterical on the video. It's a bit ridiculous, but it's fun. And when I'm listening to myself, I'm like, oh my God, I know what that felt like. I know why I was doing that. And I was laughing like that because it was a bit
very
ridiculous.
Peaceful at times though, Rebecca? Because I did one and...
Oh, it was incredible. And I mean, you just kind of run off. It sounds ridiculous, but you just kind of run off a hill, and next minute you're just kind of sitting down, floating.
Yeah.
But he did do these big swings, like like swinging me from side to side like a big bloody pendulum, and I did feel like my brains were going to fall out of my head. And so I was like, oh, I don't like that. And he just kind of did it a little bit more. Because it was just that terrible. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh.
So that part wasn't peaceful.
How long were you up there for?
Well, when I said, so how long is it going to take? She said, about 7 to 10 minutes. But I don't know. It kind of felt longer than it. I don't really know. It was beautiful, and it was enough. But
enough.
Yeah,
it's beautiful and enough. I think you need that on a T-shirt. It was beautiful and enough.
Sorry, say that again.
You need it on a T-shirt. It was beautiful and enough.
No, but I would have gotten back up and done it straight again. Actually, it was amazing. So,
good on you.
Yeah. So we've kind of walked out of Queenstown like with our pockets, quite a bit lighter than when we turned up. But it was like I was saying to Leo, oh my God, we've actually spent some money doing something fun and not just on bills.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
So that's kind of quite good, because we had a punctured tyre that we didn't realise was punctured for a while. And so that was a bit eye-watering.
Were you going round on the rim of the wheel for a while?
Oh, no, not that bad. Surely.
I don't think it was that bad.
Okay.
But because I kept saying to Leo, because it was the back, it was one of the inner tyres, because we've got big wheels and 2 of them at the back. But the one on the outer, I was going, Leo, that one looks like it needs some air. And he was like, oh, no, not really. And I was going, yeah, I think it does. And anyway, so we went to put some air in that one. And then the guy kind of at the place goes, oh, yeah, the back one's flat. And we were like, oops. And so who knows how long we were driving with it like that for. But actually, the inner tube, he couldn't just rescue it with an inner tube. Let's just say that. It required the whole thing. So anyway.
Damn.
So now when we go to drive off, we do what truck drivers do. And so we walk around and like we kind of bang them. Yeah. I do it with my knuckles, and I don't know what Leo uses, his foot or a hammer or something.
Anyway,
you're supposed to listen.
All drivers
you're supposed to listen.
And do a
they do a listen.
So you can hear.
You can hear.
I'm going to have to look for people doing that now.
You can do it on your own.
Well,
Okay.
Part of your
I don't need to buy a bus.
Schedule, no.
But anyway, so we've learned that.
Okay. Now, can I ask, were you badly affected by the crazy cyclone Dovey that we had?
Not that one, because wasn't that? No, that was I think Auckland and Featherston got that.
And Westport.
But the week before that, I don't think that was the cyclone that got us there.
Oh, okay. I don't know. We've had a lot of weather, eh?
We've had a lot of weather. I think those are 2 separate weather events.
Okay.
We had the big wet on the west coast.
And
I don't think it was the cyclone.
No.
But I might be wrong.
No, I think you might be right.
But I think I might. Yeah.
You're a teacher after all. Of course you're right. But were you badly affected? Did you have to kind of escape to higher ground? Did you all sit on the roof of the bus or?
Well, we found out that the leak that we thought was fixed wasn't.
Oh, that's always nice to know, eh?
Well, it's information, isn't it? And as someone said to me when I said, "Oh yeah, the leak in the toilet's not fixed," and he said, "Oh well, at least it's not over your bed." So always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, so
Beautifully put.
so we ended up in Hoki. We don't call it Hokitika down here. We call it Hoki.
Okay,
Well, no,
all right.
we meaning day. Whenever I said Hokitika, Hoki. So we ended up there because we were trying to escape the wet. We thought we'd go over to the east coast, and then we discovered that we had the flat tire, and so we weren't going nowhere fast. And so we couldn't. So we had to hole up. So we holed up at this little camping ground for 3 days, and we had power, and we had a little lounge thing that had a TV.
Yeah,
so the kids could sit there, and they could bring their Lego over, and it was really there was really choice people.
Yeah,
and when they stay out there putting up the tarp to cover over the leaking part, we had lots of people kind of giving us advice, and one old fella bringing us this tar tape, which anyway, he's like, it's amazing. It'll change your life or something, along those lines. And so we had, when it dried out, we went and bought some, and it has kind of worked a little bit. I think it's still, I don't know, there's still something, the water just wants to get in there, but I think we've kind of mostly fixed it. Anyway, but then... Have I run out of my time slot yet?
No.
I've done a lot of talking here.
This is great.
So then,
kind of wind you up and let you go.
We got more rain. Anyway, so we did the 3 days, and then we started, and that's when we came down, and we went down to Franz Josef, and oh my God, incredible slips and crazy kind of road stuff going on south of there. But and then we ended up in this weird little camping ground one night. Oh, that's right, because when we got to Foxgate, we couldn't park there because our vehicle was too big and none of the campgrounds would take us.
Oh.
So we had to go down lower, and then we knew that there was rain coming. Anyway, so we stayed there, and this was getting close to Bruce Bay. And so we stayed there the night, and... that's right. And then we kind of got down to Hurst, and there was still rain. And so we just decided to keep driving, really, because actually on a rainy day, why not just be driving? Because sitting around in the bus, there's only so much, I don't know, playing cards or reading books or plugging leaks you can do. So, but what happened is we didn't realise that there was another leak that went straight down onto the backing camera, which then leads on to my next part of the story, that when we got to Lake Hawea and we parked up there and it was beautiful, but when we Leo pulled forward to get some water, and then he just pulled back to get into the to park properly, and of course there was a bit of a crunch, and that was the bloody tree that wasn't there before and just was there.
Did that tree sneak up on you?
That was our bikes. So we've had a bit of a bike casualties.
Oh no!
from the backing camera, because the backing camera yesterday stopped working because of the leak down the front, which we didn't know about, and then Tiago's didn't get crunched because his was on the ground. He was already using it. So anyway, so then we've kind of ended up in Lake Hawea, which is really beautiful in a campground there, and it was great trying to get bikes repaired and stuff in Wanaka. But anyway, so we've had a few sagas.
Yeah, you have. So the other bikes, can you fix the bikes, or are they done in?
Well, no, mine was terminal. So I'm now waiting to try and get a replacement one, which is in the works. So hopefully, and Leo's his back wheel was smashed, so they had to do a replacement one of that, and Luca's also got a bit smashed. But Luca's and Leo's are back on the road. Tiago's was not part of it, but mine mine is
no more,
just needing to be replaced, which is actually, the insurance company has come to the party. So,
that's
so
good.
yay.
Well done.
Yay.
Oh.
Go AA insurance. Yep. So anyway.
You're adulting really well right now. Well done.
Yeah, well, thanks.
So,
As everything feels like it's kind of slow and tricky, and you've got to move your house to actually kind of go and do anything like that. But that's all right.
You seem to be like whipping around the country super fast, and you've kind of got another 10 months to go. Worried that you're kind of doing it real quick. What's your next place that you're going to stop, and when do you go to work? For goodness sake, woman.
I think it's really funny that everyone's kind of worried about us whipping around really fast.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like, well, actually, we're only part of the way down the South Island, and, it's been 6 weeks. So actually, yeah. So, and I guess the thing is that you kind of have to move on at times, especially if you're in, what's it called? Like freedom camping and stuff like that. Like you can't just stay and actually 2 or 3 days, but also having in our defence, we've actually been to the top of the South Island as well. Like we went up to Karamea and all that as well before coming down. And also, like we just I don't know, like we thought we were going to be in Te Anau 2 nights ago, but we're not. We're still kind of making our way down. So we just I mean, we're not in a race, but also we're just moving on when we want to. And we want to get south before it gets too cold. So we want to head our, we'll go Te Anau and then maybe Milford, Fiordland, I don't really know. And then Invercargill, and we'd like to get down to Stewart Island. But we'd like to do all that before too long. Yeah,
before winter
because,
sets in.
It oh boy, last night it was cold in Queenstown. It had that southerly and it was clear, but it was cold. So,
are you able to stay warm on the bus, or do you need to,
Yeah, well, we put it, it's been really, really warm. Like, most nights we're just, got all the windows and everything open and just little light blankets. But last night we put an extra duvet on the bed.
Oh, lovely.
And it was really cozy. So it was good. And
good on you. I'm so thrilled. It sounds like you're having a great time, and everybody, you've not turned on each other. And I
well, not fatally, not yet.
No, that's right. With all the interesting things involving buses and camping, have you seen any kind of camping in a protesty kind of way? Have you been associated with that by accident in any way?
Camping in a protesty way,
what's going on in Wellington?
When we stayed in that weird campground, the one only camper there that night was getting up on his motorbike in the torrential rain to ride up to Picton, and he was going because I was like, oh my god, the roads are really full on through there. I wonder, because we went through in the dry, but the slips, there'd been a lot of rain in the night, so he was like, oh, I'm trying to get to Picton to the
Trafalgar Square occupation.
And I kind of, he thought, oh, should I? He kind of said, oh, should I go around that way? And I kind of thought, no, you should just go home. But I didn't say it. But no, like I was just commenting to Leo today, because Queenstown was just, there was so many people and everyone was just out enjoying themselves, and we had to show vaccine passes, but big deal, there was mask wearing and outside there wasn't mask wearing, and there was, but it was just so easy, and there was certainly no lack of freedom. Like people were just, it was amazing. It was an awesome sight of people just out
doing their
enjoying
thing.
And in the middle of a pandemic, and you just wouldn't even know it, because people are because we've been so lucky, I guess, and so that was my little observation of it today.
Awesome.
And we've met lots of we haven't met lots. No, we've met the occasional person who's anti-mandate and anti-vax.
Yeah.
But most are most of the ones that we've met, the majority are just happily kind of doing their thing and quietly just doing their thing, and just doing it, and then it just is not a bother. It's easy peasy, and so that's kind of our observation of coming this way. But certainly I just thought, oh, look, all these people complaining about their freedoms, and people today were just
enjoying their freedoms.
Enjoying their freedoms that we have oodles of in this country. So,
Good on you.
Yes.
Well, you keep enjoying your freedoms. And
Tiago's cruising around here on his bike, enjoying his freedom.
Oh, how lovely. That's awesome.
As the light just disappears, but sorry.
So we'll catch up with you next month and see how you're getting on.
Yes.
Okay.
And don't be surprised if we're at the top of the island again, but don't panic. It's okay. We have got a
You're not coming back.
Yes, we want to see. We want to see everywhere before we decide where we're going to be parking. So,
Good on you. I like
okay.
it.
It's okay.
I'll just calm down.
Just relax.
All right.
Calm down. We can drive back down here again if we need to.
Well, I'm going to sing you out with, I think I've remembered the tune. Meet the Mertens, meet the Mertens, meet the Mertens, meet the Mertens. It was a bit like that, wasn't it?
So complex. Thank
It
you.
is. Do you want to say goodbye, Tiago?
Goodbye.
Bye, Tiago.
Goodbye, Lucy.
Oh, bye-bye, lovey. You enjoy your time. See you soon. Thanks
Tiago,
so much.
Take care.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.
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 Wow, what an epic adventure.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
Cool, isn't it?
I hope they get, somewhere nice and warm for when the cold comes.
Yes.
Music.
Yes. Can you open your
Music.
phone again? And we're going to have... Can you open
Sorry.
your phone?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. Next we're switching to reggae now,
Oh, lovely.
just for the sake,
So
the sake.
eclectic.
So we've got Toots and the Maytals, the great Toots and the Maytals.
Mm-hmm,
And this is John Denver's classic, Take Me Home Country Road.
Oh, okay. Have you got it on?
Yes.
Right.
They say I'm looking much younger than the mountain. Younger, I on the mountain. And I'm just blowing. I'm just blowing, and I'm just grooving. Oh, now listen. Put your hands together for my band. I'm just grooving like a breeze. A breeze. Sing it with me. Country road, take me home to that place I belong, West Jamaica. Oh my, won't you take me home? Country road. I hear a voice in the morning as they call me. Say, son, you remind me of my home far away. I'm running down the road, feel a sickness I should have been. Oh, yesterday, yesterday.
brilliant.
Isn't that great?
It was great.
Take me home to West Jamaica.
Yes, lovely twist. Nice.
Well, we're on the downside. We're on the downward
are.
slope of the show.
Yes.
Had a good show.
It's been a great show.
Got a few more tunes I could fit in, but
Yep.
just wanted to check in with you, Lucy. What have you been up to in the photography
Well,
mode?
I just wanted to do a bit of flagrant self-promotion,
Fine,
if that's
fine.
okay.
It's your show. You can do it like.
It's our show, darling. Our show.
Nothing. Go.
We are going to do the name change once we come up with a good name. So, soon in March, hopefully, fingers crossed, I pull my finger out, we'll be launching a new podcast called Burst Mode.
Which is a photography term, is it not?
It is. You know when you put your finger on the shutter and it goes, just
that's what that
that's
means.
burst mode. Well, I believe so. Yeah. You can do it on your iPhone camera as well. You can burst mode. You just keep your finger down, and it just takes a whole bunch of photos. So the concept is. It's 10 interviews with 10 photographers and they all get asked the same questions. So the idea was I wanted it to be relatively straightforward for me to do, and I wanted it to be not too much for the people I was interviewing.
Yeah.
And we have achieved that. And and so the questions, so each interview is, I think the longest is probably about 17 minutes long, but some are a bit shorter. I have had the pleasure of interviewing Esther Bunning. Yes. So Esther's been great. She was my buddy on this whole journey. I pitched her the idea. She loved it. She helped me pitch it to the New Zealand Institute of Professional Photographers. So it's supported and sponsored by them.
Right.
And
tapped into a good talent pool there.
Oh, I have. I've had such good conversations. I'm just going to get up my. I was going to get up my. What is the word? My Trello, so I could. Oh no, I know. I can tell you all the people I interviewed. So, oh dear, no, I don't want to do that. So Esther's been great because also today she did the photography for. She's doing the photography for all the branding and the marketing.
Yeah.
I had the best time, right?
Oh, so you were modelling?
Yes! And I really got into it. I just so enjoyed it. She made it so easy and it was just so much fun. And we had the wind machine going. So I had my hair all combed and I had my big chunky earrings in and I was wearing, my long frock with the pockets, terracotta, and then a scarf.
Oh,
we played with scarves. I was doing all sorts of weird angles and she was using her lens baby lens and bits of glass and other, oh my God, and some of the shots were just looking really, really cool. So I'm really excited about that. And so it will be just 10 episodes. And the idea is that I'll be hopefully get the show on here as well on Arrow FM as a bit of a series. But yeah, it's really, if you're interested in artist talks or photography and New Zealand photographers in particular, then it's up your street. It's, not a heavy listen. It's all very, it's just intended to kind of get to know these incredible photographers a bit better. And so, if you're into some of the technical stuff, then some of my photographers do like talking about the technical stuff. But generally, it's just about getting to know them better. And it was just a lot of fun.
Great.
So I interviewed Esther, Nick Servian, who is based in Wellington. He was very cool. He had a very interesting story about how he got started in photography. And I won't spoil it, but it was, it was kind of espionage related.
Oh, really?
I seem to recall. Yeah, it was.
Sounds intriguing.
And then a whole bunch of photographers whose names I've completely forgotten.
Totally fine.
I've got so excited. I'm just trying to find it. Here it is, Burst Mode. So Esther Bunning, Tim Lomax, Jace Blair, the wonderful landscape photographer down south, Bex Kempton, Glenn Howie, Nick Servian, Michelle Fay. Now, I think she was the lady who... One of my photographers that I interviewed used to be a forensic police photographer.
Wow.
I know, so cool.
That would be right up your street with your
I asked her so
interests.
many questions and it was just all getting a bit, I do other stuff now. Yeah, but can we talk about the blood and guts? So Ya Zhou, who is an incredible photographer based in Christchurch who shoots weddings, and I just really loved his method of learning. He was just like a
I've seen some of his stuff. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Epic wedding photography. And what he does is he kind of really taps into what the market is after. So he'll see
Fairy tale stuff.
Yeah, it is. And he'll see so everybody's into South Korean wedding photography at the minute. So he'll take himself off to South Korea, just immerse himself, and then come back with all those tips and tricks and make them his own. Really clever. Tessa Williams, beautiful woman, and Jane Fletcher. Janine's Fletcher, sorry, based down in South Island with her own gallery. And so I really want to just put it out there. I've done a lot of the background work. I've done some of the editing. I really need to pull my finger out and do the rest. But we'll be launching that in March, and it'll be an episode a week. And so hopefully you'll see it on some of your Facebook feeds, and hopefully you'll like it and you'll share the news.
Definitely. That's awesome. Well done. Well done, Lucy.
Thank you.
I look forward to it. It sounds very cool.
Well, the idea is if I tell you now, it means I will do the editing,
Yes,
because
you have to do it.
Yeah, I've done 3 episodes.
You've told
nearly
all
4.
Our massive listener group. Now you're in trouble if you don't complete your promise.
Oh, I'm totally going to complete the project. It's going to be great. And you never know if you know of 10 more photographers, I can do series 2. It'd be lovely to keep going with the concept.
Yeah, not just photographers.
No, absolutely. Well, that's a really good point, Katie. Katie.
People in certain interesting professions.
Oh.
People who've been to Antarctica.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
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 All right, we need to go out for a coffee. Yeah.
So many people.
So many people.
So many stories to hear.
People like being asked questions. I mean, a lot of people don't like being recorded.
Maybe famous people don't like it because it's boring and repetitive. And they, like people on junkets, probably get asked the same question over and over.
That would be hard, eh?
Yeah. But someone who's like just passionate.
Yeah, passionate about what they do. Exactly. Yeah. And everybody's journey into photography is so different. And I think, if you're experienced or even starting out in photography, like any job or interest or passion or creative endeavour, you go through peaks and troughs. And sometimes it's just nice to hear, because we do talk about, what's the hardest thing you've ever faced and, what are the challenges right now and that kind of thing. And so sometimes it's just nice knowing that somebody went through something difficult and they came out the other side. It can give you a real boost.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So March. Okay.
When's March? Soon, isn't it? Yeah.
Soon. It's not far away. I'm looking at my watch. And it's, that far away. Well, should we go out with a song?
Yeah, let's go out with a song. Yeah. We'll have to come back again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll nearly go out.
Penultimately go out with a song.
What are we going to play next?
Right.
So come round.
No,
you got it?
I can do it. I think
have
I
you
can
got
do this.
Do you need the number, though?
Yeah, it's going the wrong way. Should you open it again? So this next one that I want to share with you is, I'm sure we all know it, especially Gen Xers. It's Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, dun dun dun,
kind of.
Dun, dun.
Yeah. But this time,
sorry, I have to do it. Miranda
it's done
style.
by a Canadian alt rock band called the Rural Alberta Advantage. What a great name.
That is, I like that.
They're not from Alberta. They're from Ontario in Canada.
Okay.
And they've really given Eye of a Tiger a whole new twist.
All right.
Here we go.
Rising up, back on the street, did my time, took my chances, went the distance, now I'm back on my feet, just a man and his will to survive. Sometimes it seems it happens so fast, you change your passion for the glory, but don't give up on the dreams of the past. You must fight to keep them alive. And it's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. He's watching us all with the eye tiger. Face to face, out in the heat, hanging tough, staying hungry. They stack the odds till we take to the street, for we kill with the skill to survive. And it's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. He's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. Rising up straight to the top of the guts, got the glory. Went the distance, now I'm not gonna stop. Just a man and his will to survive. And it's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. He's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
Guessing.
That was funny.
Guessing. Good vibe though, eh?
That's
Slow
very,
vibe, but
very mellow.
That's
Very
pretty cool.
mellow. I enjoyed that very
it's a
much.
good wind down for us because we're
We're
winding
going
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. We're done.
Thank you for having us. I hope everybody's safe and keeping on.
Yes.
And we'll see you next month.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
Jeez. Nearly Christmas.
Yella. Yella.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Take care.
Ka kite.
Akite.